When Oscar Was a Little Grouch by Liza Alexander, illustrated by Tom Brannan, copyright 1989, Children's Television Workshop. When Oscar was a little grouch. One day, Oscar was grouch-sitting for his niece, Philomena. She was just a little slip of a grouch, no bigger than a waste paper basket. Today, Filthy was giggling and smiling and chatting. "This is terrible," thought Oscar. "She's too perky. What would her mother say? I've got to do something to make her grouchy and quick." Oscar disappeared down into his can and came back with a pair of cymbals. Clang, clang, clang! He crashed them loudly in Filthy's ear. "Wah!" yelled the little grouch. "What noisy cymbals, Uncle Oscar? Where did you get them?" "Well, little Filthy," said Oscar, "when I was your age, my mother used to say, 'Sleep, grumpy little grouch.' Then she'd play a grouch lullaby on these cymbals. They make a nice soothing racket, don't they?" "They sure do," said Filthy. "Uncle Oscar, what was it like when you were little?" "Funny that you should ask," said Oscar. "I was just going through a few things I've saved from when I was an itty-bitty grouch." Oscar ducked down into his can once again and popped back up with a chipped spoon and a battered bowl. "My mother fed me my first grouch food with this bowl and spoon. She'd say, 'Eat, it'll make you big and grouchy.'" "Tell me more, Uncle Oscar, tell me more," said Filthy. "Let's see." Oscar brought out a tiny metal trash can from his own bigger can. "This was my first real trash can. I wore it to kindergrouchen. See how battered and smashed it is? Hee hee." "That can's really awful," said Philomena. "I wish I had one just like it." Bang! Crash! Clink! Oscar rummaged around in his can and pulled out a bashed-up plastic flamingo and a dented toaster. "I got this junk on my very first trip to the dump," he said. "I remember it well. Uncle Oswaldo let me ride in the back of his garbage truck. It was pouring rain and mud spattered all over me. It was wonderful." Uncle Oscar, will you take me to the dump sometime?" asked Philomena. "You bet, Filthy," said Oscar. "Any time." Philomena was so excited that she pouted furiously. She began to fuss and fret and yell. Uncle Oscar joined right in, and they had a high old grumpy time. Filthy had really worked herself up into a fantastic fit when her mother came stomping around the corner. She gathered her little grouch up in her arms and gave her a big kiss. "Darling," said Philomena's mother, "Uncle Oscar must be a great grouch sitter. I haven't seen you in such a great grumpy mood. How did you do it, Oscar?" "Shucks," said Oscar. "It was nothing."